Greetings everyone, this is Elizabeth and today we're here with our budget binder and it's the beginning of June, so I need to get my budget all, or not the, I need to get my bills all situated for the month, and I want to do a couple of touch-ups on this to kind of make it fun, because my last budget was on a piece like this and I kept losing it. So I want to make something that will be a permanent fixture in here and not loosey-goosey and not like permanent. You know what I mean? Now, to save some time, I did go through and divvied up the month and all of the budgety stuff. And for some reason, I cannot find my original piece of paper. OMG'bers. Where'd it go? I know it's right here because I haven't gone anywhere. Here it is. Okay, so I put the 4 paydays, okay, and I went through my list of things and I made sure to write everybody down. Now, I will kind of go through this again with you, but just know that I write it down a couple of times and I move things around. It's not a one and done kind of thing, like, oh, I can do this in, a few minutes. It takes me a minute or 10 or 15 to get everything done. This one I wrote, there's some erasing that went on. I actually did pretty good on this particular one. I did double check each app to make sure that I'm not going to be late, that the payment is what the payment is, that the payment hasn't increased, because when you owe a lot of money to your credit cards, they're like, your payment is no longer this little bitty amount, it's getting jacked up, right? So I made sure everybody was correct. And I've got a couple little things that I want to point out that I'm doing, so that, because you'll see it on here twice, like so, and I'll explain that. But first, let's get, and see, I even did it another time. See, I've got everything. I wanted to make sure everything was going to fit in here, and what I did is I trimmed down some loose planner filler that I'm not using. I've got a crap ton. And these, I wish these were just plain with lines, because I don't budget like a normal checkbook budget, right? I don't need this. What I need is just blankety blank blanks. But I like the sturdiness of this, and I'm thinking about laminating one of these, but I want to put a centerpiece in it so I can write some stuff down. And I was measuring this guy out, and by measuring, I mean eyeballing. I set this on here, I drew a couple of lines. We're gonna pull out the chop here. Means you're okay, and then I'm just gonna cut. Gosh, I hope this lined paper is even. It does not look like it. We'll make it even. So I'm going to trim that there. I'm going to rotate it around. And I'm going to trim, which line am I trimming? I don't even know. I'm trimming this line right there. Like so. Okay. And then this little piece should fit right in here. And then I can eyeball where I want to cut it off right there. Pardon me. I still have the cough. I mean, I feel fine. It's just I have to be careful and not do too much, because it will make me cough. Okay, so there's my little insert right there. I cut it too short. Poosicles. It's actually not too short for that side. I guess we could just cover cover that. It'll be fine. You know, it's not fine. I lied. It's not. What was I thinking? That wasn't even up high enough. That is so weird. But that's okay, because look, I have more. So we're going to make it the same width, but we're going to change the height of it this time, because we mucked up, and that's no biggie. You know, that happens. Happens a lot to me. You know that thing, measure twice, cut once? Yeah, I forgot that rule just then. No measuring for me. Eyeballing gets us in trouble, right? But that's okay. We're gonna cut on, which line am I cutting on? See, this paper is just... Okay, now this time I'm just gonna trim a little bit off the top, just to get the mushrooms off. Just to get the mushrooms off. Right there. There. Okay, now we're not worried about this little word piece, right? Because we're going to turn that over and glue her down. And yeah, it probably is a little bit much, but you know what? I don't. I don't particularly mind, because I think that looks nice. Oh yes, that looks nice. So let's glue this up. Make sure we get glue. Make sure we can open the glue. And then we're just going to use our nice handy dandy glue stick. And we're just going to glue it right on here. So I don't mind if I get a little bit of glue going on there. I am going to rotate it around. Okay. Just kind of, it's kind of nice. We can see where all that glue goes. Look at that. And then we're just gonna stick it on here. I could have trimmed it a little bit more, but that's okay. That's okay. I'm a little crooked. Again, I don't mind. Okay, and then this time we're gonna make sure that we get glue on this side. And don't worry, I mean, this is just scrap, right? Because even though it's got the work I need on it, I also have the work on my original paper. I don't know what's going on here. I'm having a little bit more difficulties gluing. There we go, there we go. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. That way there, we could set this aside, let it dry. It's still usable. You'd be surprised. And then this time I'm just going to start up here at the top, so I make sure I cover those words because I don't want to see them. I've got a little bit of glue on the outside. You guys, it's okay. It's my first one. Okay, now the trick to this, right? This is gonna be this particular one. We're going to put it in here. We're going to leave it so both sides can be upright, because we're paying our bills, we're reading the thing, then we flip it over and we read our thing. So this one is fine. The next one we do, we're going to flip the other side. That's why I kind of am looking at that, right? So we're going to grab a pen. Heck, we could grab our fancy pens. I'm missing a fancy pen. There it is. I got these. Oh, I love these. Got them at the Dollar Tree. They had another set and I haven't been back to get it yet, because I've been trying to stay on budget and not spend too much. But, you know, it's $1.25, right? So, on this particular one, I'm going to just zoom through real quick. Hopefully I don't make any mistakes, right? I should have waited to glue that down, but that's okay. We're going to start here at the top and work our way down and pay these guys up. Now, when I go to do that, I need to put Dominion back at the top. Okay. I don't know why I had them for the 28th. I don't know. My next one here is due on the 1st. So Dominion needs to be up here so that I know it's not actually late, right? So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to write it, about half of them on here, and then flip it over and write the other half. You know what I should do? If we play Smarty McParty Pants here, we could do it in pencil. So I think I'll do it in pencil and see how it goes. And I'll be right back with you guys. All right. Not too shabby. We went from this to this, which can now sit right here. And I don't even think I need to laminate it. It's pretty sturdy. It's looking fabulous. Because I'm not going to lie, these little inserts they gave, they're good quality paper. They're just not what I need, right? So I have this now. I am going to save this just in case something happens to this. So I'm going to set that over there. Now our next step is to get our budget onto something more pocket friendly, right? So I had one of these out and I measured it. This glue is nice and dry. And then I put where the circles were, right? So all I gotta do now is line these guys up. And I made mine a hair longer, because why not? And we just take our fabulous hole punch. And we're just gonna see. We're gonna see. And my hole punch is a little bit smaller. So I'm just gonna aim for the center. Oops. And I'm already off, you guys. Maybe paper clip them together so they don't move. And we just kind of look in there, get that little metal piece right in the center. Just like so. La 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 la. Well, I might have been off on that one, but that's okay. And then we're gonna test to fit it just to make sure. And I know I'll have to finagle some of them because, like I said, my hole punch is smaller. But look at that. Okay. Now this one. Okay. I want my weekly sorry, I want my weekly budget always on top. So I don't want to flip to the back side. I want to see it right then and there. So when the next week comes over, I want to be able to flip this around. And at this point is when we need to write upside down, okay? So, and what I mean by that is, so we're looking at June 7th, right, and June 14th. At the end of June 14th, I'm going to flip this over. That way there, I don't have to flip to the back side. It's right there in the front. And that's just a little thing for me. For you, maybe you just don't mind the flipping. But I want to be able to see that week right up top. So this is my budget. And this is how I got to my budget, you guys. Get yourself out a computer. Maybe you can even do this on your phone, on the notepad maker. Whatever makes your heart happy. A little scrap piece of paper you got floating around. Maybe you didn't use the back side of your other sheet. Put that in there. Okay. And then what you're going to want to do, very first thing, is put in the dates of your paydays. Okay. Put those in there. Those are our dates, okay? Those are the 4 paydays that we're having. Then the very next thing is if you have something that auto pays every single payday, put that on there. For us, it's the car. The car payment comes out every Friday. Okay, so all the Fridays. Sorry, I was off screen. So our car, all the Fridays. Then, top of the list on each one, what's the very first thing? For us, it's rent. Rent comes out on the first Wednesday of every month. That's why we save a little bit. Remember our little budgety? We've got some money. We actually have $250 saved for the 7th. Okay. And then we start filling it in. On the 7th, the car and the rent is all that we're supposed to be paying. And I do have 2 things there. We'll get back to that in a second. So I look at my lovely list. Haha, that our beautiful, bright, shiny list that we just made. Let me pull this out for you guys today. Okay. And so we go down the line. Well, I've got Xboxes that are due on the 1st, but they were already paid. Okay, they've already taken their money because haha, we're at the 7th, right? So this is for the 1st of next month. Great how that works, right? So Xbox can go anywhere. Chase can go anywhere because Chase is due at the 1st of the month. Where's Chase up here? On the 6th. It's due on the 6th. I've already paid them. So this Chase can be paid at any time. The truck payment, our truck payment is always late. I haven't been able to pay it ahead so that it's not late. So it's due on the 4th, but I'm breaking it up this month. I'm saving some from the 14th, and then we're going to make the payment on the 21st. Home Depot, I've got a little asterisk by it because it is actually due on the 14th. Okay, Best Buy, same thing. It is actually due on the 22nd. So I need to make sure that these 2 are paid on the actual payday. Because some paydays, you know, I don't even do the budget until like the day after on a Thursday or something like that. So I need to make sure. And then we just keep filling it in. Dominion, Care Credit, all of these are Disney. Now, these little guys, okay, I have enough money in the bank that it's getting paid right on their due dates. So that money is already in there. And so, again, we're just paying them for the next month, okay? So these guys are already getting paid. A lot of these are already getting paid. And then when I was going through and double checking everybody, I realized that Spectrum and Kohl's are due. I actually have to make my Kohl's payment right now. Today is the 4th. I have to make my Kohl's payment right now. So I gotta open up the app and pay them. I have plenty of money saved that I can do that. Thankfully, you know, we've been putting extra aside. So I have plenty of money for both of those. Now, because I didn't save from the last payday specifically for those to be paid on this payday, I still need to pay them. Okay? So they're getting taken care of, but I need to pay again this month so that the money will be there for next month. So I'm going to pay Spectrum today, and I'm going to pay them again on the last paycheck so that it's paid on time, because they're due towards the beginning of the month. Spectrum, they're due on the 8th. Okay? And then Kohl's is due on the 4th, I think. So, and then I have Kohl's again right here. So Spectrum and Kohl's are getting pulled out twice this month. I have to pay them twice this month. Unfortunately, I have to pay them out of our savings in the bank, which is fine. And then we'll be paying them again. So if you come across that, don't slough it off. Don't say, well, I'm paying them now. It's going to be on time and we'll deal with it next time, because you'll have the same issue. So if I pay them now but don't save the money, they're going to be due again on the first of the month when we have the least amount of money. So I need to make sure that I get money into the bank and saved for that. And then try and save a little bit of extra cash whenever we can to cover them again. I know it's a little confusing, right? So we're taking money out of our savings to pay them to get them current. We're going to save money on the last paycheck to pay them next month to be current. And then we're going to try and finagle savings to pay this back, because we didn't actually save for that. We're taking that out of our savings. And we want everything at least 1 or 2 months ahead. So I need to build up that little bank nest egg as much as I can. So even though we're taking it out, we're going to try and put it back in as quickly as possible. So I hope that makes sense. So once you get everything figured out, and then you realize like Home Depot and Best Buy have to be paid on those days, when you do your final little sheet, you can plop that information in. And that's what we're going to do now. So I've got my little sheet, and I did this just to make sure it fits. When you guys do this one time, I won't have to do another little scratch sheet like this. I'll need my main and then my transfer. So I'm going to pick a side. We're going to pick a side, and then we're just going to put these here. Try not to miss anything, right? So the 7th of June, we have our $50 car payment, and we have our $800 rent, and then we have our asterisks, because this is important. We have $60 for Spectrum, and we have our $70 for Kohl's. Okay, and that gives us a grand total of $980. Okay, and then on the 14th, we're going to scooch this up, 14th of June, again at the top, always $50 car payment. And then we have our Ohio bill is $90, but you know, I'm just gonna put $100, and that'll give us $10 in savings. Ohio Ed, and then $220 for Chase, and then an asterisk because we're saving our truck payment. Okay, and then the Xbox, there's 2 of them, that's why it's, oops, put the amount at the beginning. See, I flubbed it up already. That's okay though. And then $30 Home D. Okay, and then I'm gonna do special markings so that I know, hey, this one must pay on 14th. Okay, so that one is marked up. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over and realize, our pins ran through it. Well, that's all right. I love these pens. This paper is just weak. That's all right. We'll deal with it. We'll deal with it. We're gonna plop this on here just like so. And we're gonna make ourselves another sheet because I don't want it bleeding through onto the other side, right? And we're looking at $600 for that one. And there they are. So now we can pop these in here with our little doodad tucked in behind. And so all of June is all done. And if you're ambitious, you could do this for the entire year, you know, every month, everything, or a few at a time. So I can look, and as soon as we get paid on June 7th, I can make sure that gets paid. June 14th, I'm going to make sure that is paid on time. And then all of the rest, okay? And then when I make out my next month's budget, I have those. I have these little guys if I need them. And then everybody's good to go. Check that out. And we can double check, make sure we have everything in there. We've got those and those. Car, Ohio, Chase Truck, Xbox, and Home Depot. And car, Dominion truck, Kearsus, Big, Disney, Pulley, Adobe, Best Buy. So many bills, you guys. Self-inflicted. But, yeah, so I can save this with this. So if I ever need to look at it, I'm going to make myself a little folder and just kind of keep all of these past ones in there for future reference if needed. We're going to put our pencil back and we're going to be done for the day with our budget. It's fabulous. Oh, look at that. This part is probably fit. I could pick a skinnier pencil, but you know what? I love these pencils. They're so fat and fabulous. But until next time, my friends, I hope you have a good day budgeting. If you have any questions or suggestions, please drop them down below. Oh, you know what? We forgot to read some comments. Please hold. Okay, on one of our last videos, okay, I was bummed because I did poor. I didn't do a very good job, right? Ms. Janine Miss Janine, she says, I'm impressed. Keep going. Our society has taught us to buy now and pay later. Using cash only is hard to get used to. And let me tell you guys, it's 100% super duper hard. Cut yourself some slack. You should still be needing to tweak here and there, as you have already noticed. Maybe just a lot. And this part I kind of like. I want to figure this out. And she says, maybe just allow for a big grocery shop be only on your bank card purchase like once a month. And then she goes on and she says, you and your husband are also teaching your kids valuable lessons in more than just savings and budgeting. We're showing restraint, compromise, patience, and most importantly, teamwork. And this message is for everyone out there that is struggling on a budget. If things aren't going right, that's okay. Suck it up, work through it, and just make note of what you need, what you feel you need to do to fix it. because you may make that note, you may follow that note, it may not be what you need. But that's how we get through, right? We do the tweaks, we really think about the stuff, and hopefully we can get through this. And I say we, and I know a lot of you out there probably are wonderful with your budget. You're like, I don't even know how you guys get so many credit cards and stuff like that. For you, just give us some ideas on what you like about your budget. And for those of you that are like me, that have spent beyond your means, and you have credit card bills and miscellaneous stuff, and you're trying to do better, this encouragement from Janine, you know, that's for all of us, okay? And if you guys have a great budget, you're superheroes. Let me just tell you, you guys out there with your heads on straight, perfect little superheroes. So kudos to you, and kudos to anyone trying to better their money management. And I am no expert, as you can see. I'm just giving out my advice and what I'm going through, and sharing the advice of others. So keep it up, and we'll see you next time right here, hopefully without this scratchy nuisance of a cough. Until then, have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.